guys, welcome to another series of the Great Wealth Transfer. My name is Kikelomo Solomon-Ayeni, one and only KSA. Okay, so today I want to talk to us about Joseph's wealth, a review on Genesis 37, chapter 39 to 49 also, and it's a long story about Joseph's wealth. You can read it on your own, but just try to understand Joseph from when he was born to how he landed in wealth and the kind of wealth that he had. See, the Lord has said to us that the great wealth has landed upon the earth in this year 2020. And it is not a lie, because God is not a man, so lying is not part of him. That Baba has integrity. If he says something, it is not what he will do. It means that the thing has been done. So if he says great wealth has come, my friend, great wealth has indeed come. Now, to understand this kind of wealth, we need to look at Joseph as an example. So if you're looking at Genesis 37 and then 39 to 49, we saw how Joseph was living with his father and his brothers. His brothers did not like him, but then Joseph had a dream, and then he shared the dream with his father and his brothers. That was a big error he made though, but what I also saw was that he practiced the principle of the fourth dimension, which is speaking out his dreams, meaning that he was confessing what he saw with his eyes. Now, for God to be able to bring Joseph into extreme influence and wealth, God needed for Joseph to see it. So what happened is God gave him the vision of influence very early. Because of the journey he was going to go through, slavery, prison, God needed to give him that vision early so that he can always have it at the back of his head. Anytime those troubles come, anytime he moves from slavery to another level of slavery, he would always have that vision that he saw. See, your ability to see this great wealth that God has given to us is very key. If you don't see this wealth, because Kike said, God has given us wealth. Okay, I'm expecting it. If you don't see it consistently, you are not going to receive it. You need to keep picturing this wealth. So the vision of what God had given him was in his mind. So when his brothers sold him into slavery, they didn't know that they were helping him to relocate. You know, some people are relocating now, Australia, Canada. He had to relocate to Egypt. So without visa or anything, they made it easy for him. He didn't have to go through border, say, where's your passport? The way they sold him as a slave, he did not need a passport to enter. His boss had provided all these masters had provided all the passport they needed. So they took him into Egypt, and he went from one journey of slavery to another, and then found himself in prison. And in all of the journey, this guy did not fail God. His integrity was intact. He stayed with God, proving to God that he loves God. His father was not there, so he could have joined gang in the prison now, you know, or gang of slavery, or have turned to Agbero in the slave people, our slaves. There was all that. No, he did not do like that, because I know somewhere in his mind he kept seeing that picture. And if what I saw was that even the moon and the stars bow to me, then I'm not a slave. I'm not in the category of the slaves. And then the God of my father has never failed. So he kept seeing his dreams and believing in the God of his fathers, which is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob is his own father. So by the time he was going to end his journey of slavery to prison and to palace, this guy did not have any bad reports. They did not say he attempted to rape somebody or he stole money. Even his bosses always left him in charge, and whenever they left him in charge, they always got good reports. Nothing missing, no money was lost, no good was lost, nothing. How much integrity do you have? God said great wealth has come. He's not going to give it to you if he cannot account for it. He will not. Do you think that by the end of the year, or by 2021, God should even visit you and say, let me see what Funke is doing with this 50 million I gave her, and then they realize that you have stolen most of them, or is it even stolen? They realize that what you were doing was you're doing pepper soup and asu, and then you were buying latest Louis Vuitton and Gucci just to show that me, I have arrived. Small girl, big God. Forget it. God's not going to give you more. See, this boss said he has come. What happened is the measure is going to give you this year is still a trial. It's still a trial. So if you receive 100 million, just know that it is trial. It is what you do with it that will determine if more will be given to you. Now, Joseph did not fail in the test that he went through. He did not fail. Now, by the time they were going to say, by the time his wealth was going to land, let me give you the analysis. the kind of wealth that Joseph was given is not small wealth. It's not 5 million naira. I will pay 5 million naira. I'm not a millionaire. That one is not wealth. When his story was going to change, when God was ready and said, I've groomed this boy. So he went through training, he went to college and masters, doing business administration. He didn't enroll in the school, God enrolled him. So the real life struggles he went through were the things that he used to learn, basics of accounting, and all those things that help him to keep financial records. And he can know that 2 plus 5 must be 7. If it is not 7, it means that something that's taken away from it, something that's subtracted here. Now, when they were going to give him the wealth, he got a call that day from the prison. Hello, Joseph, is that you? Alpha, King got to see you, President of America has sent for you. Alright, so we're coming to pick you. And he shaved, cleaned, and then they went to pick him. He never knew that his life was going to change. Now, when he was invited, Pharaoh said to him that I have heard so much about you. You know that you can interpret dreams, that you are a fantastic somebody. Now, when he got in the presence of Pharaoh, see, from prison to seeing a Pharaoh, it means that you are from extreme poverty. They now invited you to meet the President of America, not even President of Nigeria, President of America. They invited you to United Nations headquarters. You know the difference? From the extreme poverty that you probably didn't even finish, drop out self from secondary school, smelling rag, maybe you even sit with Agbero, you sell ogogoro beside them. So you know the extreme poverty, you know that the igimu, ijinosori, you know that there's the distance. Now imagine when he got to Pharaoh, he could have tried to create an impression, saying that that guy interpreted your dream for the prison has called for me. So when the man was trying to say, oh, I've seen your CV, I heard that you're a good guy, he didn't say yes, so I'm an interpreter expert. You just dream it, I will interpret it. He didn't do that. Rather, he gave the glory to God. He said, not high. He said, it's not high, but it's of the Lord. Hey! How many of us will honor God in the biggest of opportunities that we find ourselves? How many of us remember to honor God? I'm sure God was just shaking his head, but that's my boy. Because if you had done show up there, do you know what would have happened? They would have just paid him for interpreting the dream. They will give him 1 million naira. And you just go on Instagram, but all the boys them balling. You get think, see my life from Ajegule or from Idore all the way to United Nations headquarters, and I was paid in dollars, baby. That's the highest he would have gotten. But then, because he stayed still aligning with God, giving glory to God, God was ready for the boy. By the time he finished interpreting the dream, he did not only interpret the dream now, because God had given him the answer to that dream. He interpreted the dream. God gave him the strategy. So he did not only say, your dream means this. He said, your dream means this, and this is how to manage what the dream means. He said, look for somebody who has so and so skill, who can help you with this problem. So it will no longer be a problem, it will now be a solution. Pharaoh, who does not serve God, who doesn't know the God of the Israelites, said, he said, where can we find another man in who is the Spirit of the Lord? Hey! So can you see now that he was honored? Oh my goodness. He said, there's no one other person like you. It is you I'm giving the post. In fact, I hand over the entire nation to you. And after me, as the first person in the nation, you are next. Anything you say goes. In fact, take my ring. Anything you sign, anything you just sign, fine. They should not come to me, they should come to you. Go and do exactly as it is. Now see, because he did not share the strategy he got for himself, he shared the strategy given to him by God. That was why when he executed it, it did not fail. When he executed it, it did not fail. So in this year, God has promised us wealth, but we need to align with what God is going to ask us to do. So don't do what they told you in business school if you think it is right. Do what they told you in business school if God says you should do what they told you in business school. So go ahead and do what God is asking you to do. There you succeed, because the strategy worked, because it was God that gave him more. It is not because the guy is a sharp guy. That's wealth number one. He was given the entire wealth of Egypt. Now Pharaoh gave him wealth, put him in charge so he can be balling, and gave him wife. His life is just staying forever, and he was in charge of all the money. Now wealth number two. So what happened there to him was wealth transfer. That's wealth transfer. It's basic. So it's a big deal, but it's still basic. Now, the next level of wealth was when the famine began and there was no food. 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 food in the entire Egypt. The Bible said that all the Egyptians brought their money. It's one thing for them to make you minister of finance and that the finance of Nigeria are in charge, but you're not in charge of my money, you know. So if I have 15 million naira, even though you're minister of finance, you are not in charge of my money. But imagine if all of us in Nigeria bring our money to one person. In fact, all of us in Lagos alone bring our money to one person because we want to buy food, we want to pay for lights, we want to pay for whatever. And the entire Egyptians brought their money to give one person. That's world number 2. Please. That is world number 2. Hey. Now, wealth number 3 was when nations started bringing money. From different nations, they were bringing money to say, let's go to Egypt. They were bringing to Joseph. Bible knows they were just bringing to Egypt. They were bringing to Joseph to buy from him. So they brought, so wealth of nations were brought to him. Wealth number 3. See, that guy, the generation, there's no way they would even be poor because the amount of wealth from Pharaoh, wealth from Egypt, wealth from nations. That's wealth number 3. The wealth that busted my head was when the Egyptians now came back to him and said, now we have given you all our money, but we still want what you have, which is food. You know what? Take all our cattle, and then if you own cattle, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. So he took all of their cattle. Hey! All their cattle, that is wealth. Because by the time we start selling them to them again, that's money. That's money. So he took all the cattle of the Egyptians. I'm saying of the oak. So somebody, you are giving all our money to him in Nigeria. You are not giving him all our assets also. We are giving to him our businesses. They take. Then when he collected their cattle, they came back again and said, you know what? We've given you our money. We've given you our cattle. We still want what you have. So we are willing to give you our land and ourselves. We will sell our land to you. We will sell ourselves to you. And he took all their lands. That guy is a businessman, man. He took all their lands and said, you know what? Okay, so all their land is ours, but I'll still give you to be using the land to trade. So what's going to happen is, this is seed. Farming will soon be over. So you will plant these seeds in no short time. Now, every 5th portion of whatever you make from now, Bible says it still happens till date. So I don't know if it's still happening as a 2020, but I don't know how long it happened for. That every 5th portion of whatever they make. So every money you make, the 5th portion goes to a particular person. It's not like tax. So every 5th portion of what you make, bring it to me and it's for the Pharaoh. That is a great wealth transfer. In case you are thinking small, when God said great wealth is coming, and because people are dashing you 5,000, 10,000, you are thinking that all God wants to give is 1 million naira. You are thinking small. You're using Joseph as your yardstick, as your example. And when God said the great wealth is coming to us, it will be bigger than Joseph's own. Because the path of the righteous shines brighter. The testimony God is giving to us, God is coming to meet a glorious church. So the wealth is given to us right now is a great one. A very great one. Remember the equation of this great wealth transfer. It is given to God, given to humanity, and loving the giving. And the giving to God, remember, it is you are giving to God's work, and you are giving to the people who does God's work. And then to humanity, remember, the poor, the sick, the widow, the homeless, the category of giving to humanity is a lot. And you have to love it. It may be difficult to give them, but make up your mind to be happy to do this giving. This great wealth, you will access it. It will be a testimony that eyes will see, and ears will hear, and all tongues will give glory to your God. You can always reach out to me at kikelomoboaz@gmail.com. Stay wealthy.